Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mindset Matters. My name is Victoria. I am a mindset and wellness coach. And on this podcast, we discuss all things mindset and how to up-level and live a more intentional life. So, welcome and welcome back to those of you who are regular listeners. I love you and I appreciate you being here. So, today we're kind of throwing it back to the early days where I used to do the quotes of the week. So if you know, you know. And so this episode is all about the life mirror. And this is a concept that since adopting and really understanding and practicing the things within this concept, my life has completely changed. So that is my goal for you as well. My goal is that you will really deeply understand this concept after this episode, be able to have some takeaways and how to actually adopt it in your life. So if that sounds good to you, let's go ahead and dive right in. So have you ever heard the idea of like, oh, life is a mirror, what you put out gets reflected back to you? So I've heard that a lot, and I think I more deeply understood this concept after reading the book Transurfing in 78 Days, which is essentially a guide to kind of creating your own reality. So the quote I want to share with you is this: the world is a mirror that reflects your relationship to it. Life is a game in which the world puts out the same riddle to all its inhabitants. Okay, guess what I look like? Everyone responds in their own way according to their own perception. You are aggressive, or you are cozy, or cheerful, gloomy, friendly, hostile, happy, ill-fated. The interesting thing is that in this quiz, everyone is a winner. The world agrees with everyone and appears before each according to the guise that was ordered. So, what do you think of the world? Ooh, I love this one. So, let's break this down. The world is a mirror that reflects your relationship to it. And whatever it is you think, you're right. That's what this is saying. So, if you think the world is an aggressive, nasty place, if you think that there's not enough to go around, if you think it's a lonely place, if you think you're not good enough, the world is never doing you any favors. If that's what you believe and that's what you perceive and put out there, then that's what the world will be to you. However, if you think the world is a beautiful place, if you believe you can be successful, you believe that the world takes care of you, that will also all be true. What you put out gets reflected back to you. And this is one of those concepts that you need a little bit of faith. You have to start practicing the things before seeing the results, right? Let's think of an example of the gym. Why is it so hard for people to stick to the gym? Well, because they go twice, they don't see any results. They go 3 times, they don't see the weight coming off, okay? They don't feel more toned up. They're just tired. It's challenging. But what happens when you keep showing up is that 4 weeks in, whoa, wait, I feel really strong. I feel a lot stronger. I can lift heavier weights. I can run farther. I don't breathe as heavy after doing the same exercise. It compounds. It's like a slow and steady build of stamina and strength. And a lot of people quit before they can see results because they expect it to come right away. And so I would like you to have this type of mindset when we discuss this concept. Is the world a perfect place? No. Is there a lot of challenges that people face in the world? Absolutely. And I think what we need to remind ourselves is that we can do our part to make the world a better place, but at the same time, we can't put all this pressure on ourselves to maybe change the whole world or to see the world from this negative viewpoint, and I think it can be challenging when, we see really sad things happening around the world. And So, what I think this concept really refers to is you controlling your own life in a way that is creating this lens of positivity and this lens of prosperity for yourself. And I do believe that it is possible to do this, despite different circumstances. And the idea that what you put out will get reflected back to you. And when you put out those positive things, those positive messages, those positive beliefs, and you truly start to feel like, you know what? My world does take care of me. I will be okay. If you are listening to this podcast, you are already in a privileged place that you have the ability to do that. You have the ability to look into these concepts and better yourself in some way. So you're already off to a good start if you're here. So I welcome you. I welcome you to stay till the end and really take in all of this information. So I think the big mistake that people make with this concept is they're like, well, if life is a mirror, I don't like what I'm seeing in the mirror. Okay, imagine you standing in front of a mirror. You're looking in that mirror. You don't like what you see. You don't like what's around you. You don't like the life you're currently living. Maybe you don't even like some aspects about yourself. So because of this, they're like, well, if life's a mirror, I don't like what I see in the mirror. So they get caught in the cycle of negativity about themselves and the world because they're caught staring at the mirror. So if you don't like what you see in the mirror, life's a mirror, oh, well, okay, I don't like what I see. This is what you need to do. From where you are, you need to turn around. You need to turn away from the mirror. And you need to create a new image. You're going to create a new image of what you want to see in the world. And then that is what will start to be reflected back to you. Okay, so let's think about it this way. I look in the mirror, I don't like what I see with my life. I feel like things aren't going well. Whatever the circumstances are, I don't like how I look. I don't like how I feel day to day. Okay, I'm going to turn around. Now what? You've turned away from the mirror. You're ready to create a new image. So you need to think about, well, what do I want to see out of the world? What do I want to believe? I want to believe that I am enough. I want to believe that I am enough just as I am. So maybe that's something that you start telling yourself. That's an affirmation. Okay, I want to believe that I'm healthy and strong. Okay, so what's the new image that you're going to create? Maybe it's just going for walks every day. I'm going to go for a walk every day, and each day I'm going to add 1 more minute. I'm going to walk just 1 minute farther, 5 minutes farther, 10 minutes farther. You're going to start to compound. And over time, you are literally creating a new image of how you see yourself. I want to see myself as fit. Okay, I'm going to start going to the gym on top of my walks. You're building up this stamina. I want to see the world as a beautiful place. Okay, well, when you turn around from the mirror, you're going to ground yourself in gratitude. Every day, you're going to say 3 to 5 things that you're thankful for in your world, in your space. For me right now, even if I'm not in my ideal space, I'm so grateful to have a roof over my head. I'm grateful to have nature close by that I can go walk in and submerge myself in nature. I'm grateful to live near my family and have friends close by. I am grateful for my cozy apartment in which I get to live. I'm grateful to have access to the internet and to different podcasts and people who help me become a better version of myself, etc., etc., etc. You need to start grounding yourself in gratitude and start focusing your attention on, again, what you want to see and what you already have. Every single person can have something that they're grateful for. Every single person. You have a body that can carry you up and down the stairs. That is something to be grateful for. You have 2 hands. You can pick things up. You can cut with scissors. You can cook. You can make things. You can drink water. It can be the smallest things. You need to start focusing your attention on those things because that is what's going to compound. Okay, that is what's going to make you see, oh, my world does take care of me. I do have what I need. And even if you're a place maybe financially where you're not feeling financially secure, you're not feeling like you have enough, be grateful for what you still have. Because when you focus on the negative, you focus on the lack, you're in a lack mindset. You're not going to live in abundance if you don't believe that you'll ever have enough. So it needs to start with creating a new image in the mirror. I'd like to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, me. If you are looking to build positive habits that you can actually stick to, you're ready to feel more aligned in your life, you're excited about building confidence in yourself and your ability to handle life's challenges, the Mindset Mastery Program could be just what you need. This coaching program is tailored to elevate your mindset and life by guiding you in transforming your thoughts, language, and behaviors to embrace a more intentional and purposeful life. Get ready to feel confident and appreciative of who you are, face life challenges with ease, and work with a coach who is focused on your well-being and encouraging you every step of the way. So if you are serious and ready about tapping into the power of your mindset and transform your life, click the link below or visit mindsetmatterswithvic.com to learn all about it. Thank you, me, for sponsoring this episode. Let's get back to it. I want to read one more excerpt from this book on this topic. And it says, when a person is convinced that all the best things in this world have already sold out, their shelves will remain empty. When they think that buying a high-quality item will mean standing in a huge queue and then parting with a large sum of money, then that is exactly what will happen. If a person's expectations are pessimistic and riddled with doubt, then they will undoubtedly be justified. If a person expects to meet with an unfriendly environment, their misgivings will be proven true. Think about when you show up somewhere and your immediate thought is, oh gosh, this is going to suck. You're already in a negative headspace, okay? Let's say you have to go to an event or a new social gathering and you're a little bit anxious, okay? A lot of people get some sort of social anxiety, right? Or if you're an introvert. But if you really believe I'm going to show up and this is going to suck, you're already 10 steps behind. Whereas if you can show up and say, hey, this will be an experience, that's fine. Even if it's not the best experience of your life, think of it as this is an experience, or I get to experience life today. I get to do something new, or I get to, right? Even just this language shift of I get to versus I have to. I get to work out. I get to put myself out there in new ways. I get to meet some new people. I get to go to this party, okay? It doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be mind-blowing amazing, but it's something you still get to do. And not everybody gets to do these things. And I think when we frame everything around being more positive, and that's what you put out, that gets reflected back to you. And let's take this one step further and think of it on an energy level. I saw a TikTok recently that was talking about how the energy our hearts exude actually reaches like outside of our body. And I want to say I did no verification on this and I'm not sure what the source was. So take it with a grain of salt. But the concept is super interesting to think that the energy our hearts exude is like almost like this invisible glow around our bodies. So when you show up somewhere with positive energy, you're ready, you're feeling confident, you're just feeling even in a state of ease, okay, or readiness, or trying to be as positive as you can. Your heart energy, it's like this bubble around you. And on the other hand, we can think of when you show up somewhere negatively, we often discuss, good or bad vibes, or, ooh, that person didn't give me a good vibe, or they didn't have good energy. Our hearts are actually like communicating to each other. That's what it seems. So it's so interesting if you think about it. What kind of energy do you want to put out there? What kind of vibe do you want to show up as? I don't want to be around people who are complaining or who are bringing bad energy. And again, I've been that person, and I'm speaking on experience here when I say that there's been times in my life where I've been so blinded by my problems and I've been putting out negative energy, negative, and then that's what gets reflected back to me. And I think it got to a point where even the people in my life were like, oh my goodness, being around me was probably like pulling teeth. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be someone who shows up negatively or just expects everything to go wrong all the time. How can you genuinely live a good life if you're always expecting the worst? Okay, so expect the best. I think it's important to be prepared for things not to always meet our expectations. And I know some people say, oh, well, if you lower your expectations, you'll never be disappointed. But I don't know if life is really about that. I think you should have high expectations and be excited and show up as positive as you can. But you always have to know that, yeah, things might not always work out. And that's what resilience is. You'll pick yourself back up. You'll be okay. And I think that's what is the point of life. I don't think you should walk around expecting the worst. But yeah, we need to be mindful that things can happen and you need to be somewhat prepared, but don't walk around with this negative idea that life is always out to get you. So you really need to put your faith in this concept of turning away from the mirror, changing, you're creating a new image, and then you're watching that reflection kind of change and shift. I'm going to end this here. I hope this concept is a little more clear to you now, and I hope you have a couple practices that you can bring into your life. I really do urge you to try your best to show up more positively, and I promise you will see positive change. It might take a little bit of time, but it's worth the effort, and I have seen amazing, beautiful, transformative changes in my life after adopting this concept. So have a beautiful week. I will chat with you soon. All the links are below if you want to check out my work and book a discovery call with me. And I cannot wait to meet you, and I will see you next week.